Am I the only one who thinks that people are getting a little bit too obsessed when it comes to tools, platforms, and so on, especially if you're operating in online business, creator economy, info or coaching space? There are just so many different tools out there like Skool, Circle, Whop that enable creators to monetize their audiences or coaches and consultants to package their skills and knowledge into productized services. So, with that being said, if you're trying to build an online offer in the form of an info product, coaching program, etc., and the first question you ask is, what tool should I use to build my paid community, to build my coaching program, to build my info product? Then you're already thinking like a broke creator, coach, or consultant. And in this video, I'm going to show you why this tool obsession is killing your momentum and what to focus on instead. And before we start, don't get me wrong, I'm not anti-tool. In fact, I think tools are incredibly important, especially if you're scaling from 5, 10, 15K all the way to 40, 50, 100K. Also, I've literally built a side project called creatoreconomytools.com in the past, which is literally a collection of 1,000 different tools for creators, coaches, and consultants. With that being said, the reason I'm making this video is because lately I've been getting a couple of interesting inbound leads. People coming to me who have already made a decision to use a certain tool to build a product. For instance, this person right here, coming to me launching or planning to launch a circle-based community, right? Or this person right here, wanting to launch a Whop coaching program. If you don't know what Circle, Whop are, these are tools that enable you to sell visual products. And the main reason why this way of thinking is flawed is that you're essentially starting with infrastructure before you've even validated demand. And let me show you an analogy really quickly. So let's say you have, what can we do? Let's say you have a city, right? Or you have two cities. Let me use this Google Maps thing right here. So let's say you have a city like San Francisco right here. I play GeoGuess, so I'm really quick when it comes to finding things on the map. So let's say you have one city, San Francisco, and then on the other side, you have a different city or actually a small town. Let's go to like Austria, for instance. What can we do here? Fürstefeld, Stegersbach. Let's say you have San Francisco and Stegersbach right here. So these are two different kinds of cities. And in this hypothetical scenario, you are, I don't know, an architect in Stegersbach, or you want to build something in Stegersbach. And you look at San Francisco and you see that there are a bunch of shopping malls in San Francisco that are making a lot of money. Why do these look like swastikas? There are a bunch of shopping malls in San Francisco, right? So obviously you're like, okay, look, I'm going to build a large shopping mall in Stegersbach in Austria, in this small little town. And I'm going to build the shopping mall right here. Now, what you fail to realize is that the average age in Stegersbach is, in this hypothetical scenario, is 95 years. So people here are on average 95 years old. So they can barely even get out of their house to go to your shopping center or your shopping mall. So you end up spending a lot of money on the architects, acquiring land and building it. And you fail to realize that what people actually need in Stegersbach are, I don't know, probably like crematoriums or funeral homes, something like that. So in a way, you build something before you've validated any demand. In this case, the tool that you're using is the shopping mall, right? Or the service that you provide is a shopping mall. And the niche or your audience is the town, and the foot traffic is the demand that you have. Now, obviously, a mall is going to die down without any foot traffic. And we can apply the same logic here when it comes to choosing tools first before you're validating demand. The reason why people obsess so much over tools, myself included, to be honest, like especially in the past, is because tools and using tools and building something with tools gives you the illusion of progress. They make you feel like you're actually making progress and building something. You can fiddle, tweak, apply your own branding, whatever it is, and you avoid doing the hard part, which is going out there, having conversations, and making sure that you can test demand first before investing into tools, investing into building things out. Or maybe another reason why people obsess so much over tools is you see others use or advertise tools. For example, you look at Ali Abdal and he's using Circle for his paid community. So you're like, okay, look, I want to be like Ali Abdal. I want to make the same amount of money that he's making. So I'm also going to use Circle as well to build out my paid community. So this is, like I said, a flawed way of thinking. Tool obsession is a form of procrastination. It's essentially disguised as productivity, right? So the reason why is because it's easier than facing rejection and actually doing the boring stuff. Like I said, in this case, it's validating demand. And this can kill your momentum. And momentum is all about acting and failing quick. So how do we validate demand as a content creator, consultant, or a online coach? We can do that through two different ways. First up, we have reactive validation, which is ideal for people, like especially if you're maybe an educational content creator with an existing audience, it's ideal for you because you already have audience and attention. Then we also have proactive validation. That's ideal for people who are starting from scratch and you might not have a large amount of followers online. These are two various flows and they're not exclusive. So if you're doing reactive validation, you can also do proactive validation at the same time. In fact, I would actually encourage you. So how do the flows actually look like? How does it look like? If you're doing reactive validation, if you're validating your demand in this matter, you can start off with soft market research and collecting as many pain points as you can. So look at your comments, look at your DMs that you've received in the past of people asking you certain questions, and you might spot a pattern. This is what I mean with soft market research. It's not full-on complicated market research. Based on those pain points, you want to provide a painkiller, obviously. So you want to draft your Google Doc. You want to perhaps create something like this, an offer that you can put on paper. You don't need to overcomplicate it. Don't launch a complicated 10-step funnel. Don't launch a landing page or VSL funnel just for the sake of testing demand, because it's a silly thing to do. Keep it simple and stupid. So draft your Google Doc, and then what you want to do is you want to create hand raiser content. So in that case, you call your target audience out in your emails, posts, story sequences, you call the problem out, and you try to pitch your product as that solution. And ideally, what you want to do is you want to get as many people into your DMs, or have as many conversations as possible with your audience members. You track, you refine, you close, and potentially build out something bigger, depending on how the validation process goes. If you're doing proactive validation, so in that case, the flow would look as follows. Start conversations based on the niche that you're in, or like inside the niche that you're in, ideally with people with whom you already have a warm connection, maybe past clients, maybe people that you've talked to, acquaintances, or you can also do with complete strangers. I'm going to show you a script that you can use in a second. Then what you want to do is you want to ask discovery questions to extract the pains, and then we kind of get to the same point like as point 2, where you draft that Google Doc based on pain points. You track, refine, and close, similar to the reactive validation flow. So here you have more conversations, while here you create content to get conversations, but the audience is going to be more warmer, so you don't need to have you don't need to do a lot of back and forth. So let me give you a couple of examples. If you feel stuck, if you don't know what to do at all, I'm going to give you a couple of script examples so you can kind of get an idea on how you can validate demand with your already existing audience, or if you want to do proactive validation, doesn't really matter. So let me show you an example of a hand raiser email. What exactly is a hand raiser email? It's an email that you send out to your audience. It's especially effective if you have an engaged newsletter that you're running, or engaged new audience, like an engaged email list, I mean. So what you're going to do is you want to send out a quick subject line, could be quick question with their first name, personalization. I'm looking for target audience who want to achieve desired result in a certain time frame without or with something they don't want or something they do want. Just reply to this email with a certain keyword, and I'm going to send you the details. Just a very quick script that you can use. Or what you can do is, if you're already sending out weekly newsletters or emails to your audience, you can put it inside your footer. P.S. I'm working with a small private group of target audience members or ideal customers starting next week to build this and this that will transform your business, or you kind of provide a transformation that they're going to go through. Would you like to join us? Reply yes, reply with keyword, and I'm going to send you the details. And then you essentially send them the Google Doc that you created with everything written down. If you want to get access to the Google Doc template, then you can just send me a message on LinkedIn or Instagram. Link is going to be in the video description below. And then what you can also do is create hand raiser story sequence where you talk about the problem, you talk about maybe your own journey, and then you have a call to action to send you a DM if people are interested in learning more. So in that case, a DM could look as follows. Hey, name, I'm looking for a few more ideal clients or audience members who are wanting to go through this transformation. Does that sound like you? If you say yes, usually 99% of the time they're going to say yes. All right, you can find more info here, and you're going to send over the Google Doc. So these are a couple of examples of scripts. Proactive validation example, especially if you're dealing with a colder audience, you want to first build a relationship with people. So give them a compliment, give them a personal note. Hey, name, that personal note was amazing. Hey, that salad recipe was amazing. I watched your reel about this and this topic, and I'm curious how you're currently structuring your business, whatever it is. And then what you want to do is you want to discover pain points, right? So after you've built it's like some sort of relationship with a person, you want to discover some pain points. And a couple of sentences that you can send, or a couple of things that you can mention. For instance, what's one thing you're stuck on when it comes to outcome? If you could magically change or magically perfect your niche, what would you change immediately? Curious, have you tried anything in the past to solve the magic wand? Answer: have you tried anything in the past to solve the problem that they have? Now, what you want to do next is transition into the soft pitch. Oh, cool. Well, this month I want to help X amount of people with that transformation. May I send you over the details? If they say yes, you send over that Google Doc, right? So in a way, the flows are quite similar. It's just that here you're taking more manual action and you're doing more validation. So now, with that being said, in terms of next steps, I obviously want to make sure that you get as much value as possible from this video. The link to this Google Doc is going to be in the video description below. What you want to do is you want to go over this checklist before you worry about any tools, before you worry about, oh, should I use Whop, should I use Skool? I want you to check these boxes. You want to know who you want to help. You don't want to know the most painful, expensive problem. You don't want to know what outcome that happily pay for. You want to look at different signals and conversations. For instance, getting replies like, hey, that sounds exactly what I need. You want to make sure that people resonate with your offer, right? So you want to create that Google Doc that I just showed you, ready to send, and that you can instantly send to people. And last but not least, you want to make sure that it passes the monetization test, right? If you've managed to pitch this successfully to people where they either signed up for a waitlist, or maybe you even made a couple of sales through it, where people said, hey, that sounds interesting, you just send them a Stripe link and convert them, and then you can deliver the service, whatever it is. If this was successful, like if you went through all of these different steps, then you can start worrying about the tools, the complicated backend systems, right? So this was essentially a quick crash course and when it comes to validating demand. And in a way, also explain to you why people are so obsessed with tools nowadays. To be fair, I was obsessed with tools in the past as well. In terms of next steps, shameless plug, I sent weekly newsletters to over 300 different coaches, creators, consultants, service providers, online business owners on how to build and sell high-ticket premium online offers successfully. So you want to go to audiencemonetize.com/offer-launch-lab. If you want to work directly with me in building and launching a micro-education business, then you can just check the second or third link in the video description below. It's probably going to say something along the lines of work with me one-on-one. And with that being said, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. Cheers. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.